So, there were an awful lot of suggestions on the previous video as to which Exalted weapon we should cover next, and I basically ignored all of them and went for Wukong because big stick good. Now, while I'm going to be doing this build on Wukong Prime, you can just as easily do it on the standard Wukong. The difference is just a handful of stats. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Prime frames are basically just the normal frames in fancy trousers. So let's give it a shot, shall we? I haven't got a bloody clue why I went for 2 dashes and not Umbro Intensify. So let's fix that. I mean, it's dumb, but you know, it's the best thing I can do. I haven't polarized a double dash in a while. Wowee. So there we go, and then we're left with another dash. What was old me doing? Let's take out Prime due to memes and put in Streamline instead. That's much better. Gives us better drain, more damage, and more crit. Lovely. Does every combo has some sort of knockdown in this? I think they do, yeah. Afflictions it is then. Condi Overload, pretty basic. Blood Rush for some crit. Let's go Steel as well. Definitely want Weeping Wounds. This isn't going to be ideal, but if you move the D over here, we can just run North Wind instead of a dual stat mod, and we utilize the D, but yeah, this will give us way too much Vital and a relatively tiny amount of heat. Top it off with some attack speed. Now, we don't get any extra range, which is a bit of a bummer, but I don't think it's entirely necessary for the staff. What the f- Since when does this have like a vortex thing in it? That's so good. I have no clue if I was doing any damage or not. I was mesmerized by the bloody vortex. Oh, yo, what the f- Is it me or is the damage just really high? What is up, my dude? Hey, this is gonna be wild when we add Harold into it. Definitely want Corrosive though. Yeah, I can't even build up combo here. I get to like 3-4x and the Simulacrum's dead. And I forgot about my twin as well. Wowee. Silly me thinking Exalted Blade was really strong. What a foolish man I was. Honestly, I don't think Afflictions is doing an awful lot here because our upfront damage is so tremendously high. It doesn't really matter that we like multiply the procs on the enemies, so Influence is probably the way to go, but I don't want to build everything with Influence. That's such a boring way of doing things. I enjoy variety. Are you sure you want some of this? Because I'm pretty sure you don't. Oh, get bonked. Yeah, bonked. This is some downright disgusting damage, my dudes and dudettes. Also, the crowd control from the Vortex is really, really good. I know it's somewhat difficult, but try to make out some of the numbers that are actually flying by. Like, every swing is like hundreds of thousands, if not millions. I genuinely expected the Corrupted to do a little bit better against this, but then again, we are actually stripping a decent amount of armor from them, because we do have heat and corrosive projection, so we don't necessarily need the corrosion from Harold. I actually don't think I want Tennokai on this. I really like how fluid this is. I think Tennokai would break the fluidity. And we, like, most definitely do not need any more damage. Another option here would be to go either Blast or Gas. That would work really well with the Vortex. Oh my god, what the hell. The way this melts Acolytes is just so juicy. Alrighty then, we're maxed out, so let's add one more Forma into the setup to finish it off. Can't leave the setup unfinished, am I right? I am a YouTube man at the end of the day, right? Can't imagine how this could make anyone angry. I just can't see how this setup would be enriched by Tennokai. I think it would just break the fluidity and he would barely notice the extra damage because the damage is already really high. Yeah, I just don't want to do it. Let's see how the Murmur fared against this because they are resistant to Viral. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any difference. This is by far the worst faction to fight with this because they have armored units and units resistant to Viral. I see zero difference. I really can't tell. I guess that's it then? Like, I can't think of anything else here. Like, outside of going with a different build, you know, doing Influence with like Gas or Blast. I think we're done. So, just a quick recap of the frame build. We run Corrosive Projection as the Aura for some extra armor strip. All 3 Umbra mods, so Fiber, Vitality, and Intensify for a ton of health, armor, and strength. Then to reduce the drain on our Primal Fury, we have Primed Continuity and Streamline. We're using Hunter Adrenaline to generate energy, Adaptation for some extra chunkiness, and we top it off with Primal Rage, which gives us a ton of extra crit for Iron Staff. Now, while I do run Arcane Grace on my Wukong, you really don't need it. It's just a very lazy thing to to do because you can easily heal yourself with Cloudwalker. So if you'd rather have something more useful, run Molt Augmented. And second arcane is just Arcane Strike for more attack speed. For the staff, we have Condition Overload for base damage, Blood Rush for crit chance, Galvanized Steel for crit chance and damage, Weeping Wounds for status chance, Berserker Fury for attack speed, and then we run Molten Impact, Brine Fever Strike and North Wind for vital and heat. Now this is mainly because I wanted to run something other than Influence on this, so we're running Melee Afflictions to utilize the many knockdowns that are scattered throughout the combos. However, if you don't mind Influence and you want to go ham, run Influence and then switch to either Blast and Electricity or Gas and Electricity, with everything else being exactly the same. And the same goes for Tennokai, by the way. I chose not to go for Tennokai because I like the fluidity of this, and the damage this provides is more than enough for the kind of stuff that I do in the game. But if you want to max out the damage, run some kind of a Tennokai trigger. Also, don't forget about a good priming pad. It adds an absolute truck ton of damage through Condition Overload. I run a Hound, Good Boy Harold, that primes Impact, Corrosive, Puncture, Magnetic, Cold and Radiation. If you want to check out his setup, it's on my channel somewhere, just type in Harold. Well, last time I recommended the Excalibur setup, and this is much stronger than the Excalibur setup, so of course I'm going to recommend you give this a shot as well. What I like about it the most is how simple and clean it is. There are no weird interactions, no combos, you don't have to watch out for Tennokai, you just bonk stuff over the head with a big stick and that's pretty much it. Combo setups are cool and all that, but I will always prefer a nice simple setup that just works. Additionally, since we're not dumping any of our stats, it can still be used as a Cloudwalker, so you can use it to speedrun captures and all that, which is always nice. Though it's of course not going to be as good as a dedicated Cloudwalker setup. All in all, very happy with the result, definitely recommend it. And that is pretty much all I have for you today, so I thank you very much for watching, as always guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.